Okay, hi everyone. Today we're going to look at another machine in our series of CTFs. Today machine is Mr. Robot. So as usual, we start with the network discovery bit, try to discover the machines connected to my network. Okay, this is the IP address of the machine. Again, let's document our finding as we go. Okay. Um, the next step is the port scan. Again, like usual, run an extensive port scan or aggressive port scan for all the 65 plus ports. Okay, I will pause the video for now to see when the port scan finishes, then I will resume it. Okay, now the scan has completed. We can see that port 22 is closed. The only options we have are port 80 and port 443. So we move then, shift our focus directly to the web service. We run directory enumeration with derp. Okay. At the same time, we can run Nikto as well to see if Nikto will discover any vulnerabilities on the index page. We have some login page as well. We have robot.txt. That's an interesting one. Let's look at it while the derp is doing its magic. Okay, so it seems that there are two entries here, the F society.dic and the key 1 of 3. So that's one of the flags. Okay, so let's check the first one. Okay, that is a file that has been downloaded to my system. I can go ahead and copy it to the working directory. If I look inside it, okay, so it seems to me it's a list, but as you can see, there are some parts of this has been duplicated, so it's not unique. Let's have a look, see how many um, entries are in there. So that's quite a large number of uh, options here. Okay, so what we can do, we can try straight away to filter this and make sure it's unique. Yep, let's call it FS. Now, if we check how many words in the FS, you can see there's massive difference in the numbers. Um, so that's interesting. We have a web login here as well. Let's visit this one as well. That is the WordPress login. The other flag here, let's try to see what it does. Seems this is one of the flags that's meant to be captured, so it gave us the flag. Good. So what we have so far is a list, and we have a list and we have the WordPress. So I will try to log in. Don't save. And I have this error message. So what I would do here is try to perform this login and intercept the connection with Burp Suite. Okay. So we see that this is a post method for HTTP on the page WEP WordPress login page. We also notice that this is the parameters, or these are the parameters that were or need to be submitted. So we already have a word list. So what we might be able to do here is try to brute force the login page and try to see if we can get access. Let me observe the pattern, send it to repeater. When I sent this, I receive an error message. I remember the error message from there was invalid username. So potentially we will be able to see the same error message here. Invalid username. This is useful for now. So I'm going to use, I could have used WordPress, but because in the other videos I have used WordPress, Burp Suite. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use Hedra. Let me stop the directory here. So we're going to use Hedra. The way that we're going to use it is this way. So Hedra-L, let's put the dictionary that we're going to use, -p, any password doesn't really matter, followed by the IP address of the machine. Because we're using HTTP post, we need to specify that. The web page we're trying to crack, or the login web page, is wp-login.php. And from here you can see the options that we need to enter are the log for the password, for the username, and pwd for the password. We do exactly that. We highlight the username as a value and the password as a value. -f, that's for the banner that's we're looking for, which is invalid username. And we hit enter. Now what will happen is Hedra will take and try each password or each phrase or word from the word list and try in the place of the user using the password anything. We know this will not be successful, but it will be looking for the invalid username, and the one that does not result in invalid username, the assumptions, or we are safe to assume that means this is a valid username. So it will show me a list of the usernames. Then what we'll do after, once we get a list of the valid username, we will flip things around. So we're going to use that username as a valid login or as a valid username, and we're going to brute force the password. And then eventually we'll be able to get a combination of a username and the password. So that's the logic behind it. We could have used again dictionary, both of them, but that will have taken ages to achieve the task. And I think the fact that we have a unique message here for the invalid username makes our life much easier and speed up the process. Okay. We can see that Snicter also highlighted the fact that we had a WordPress login page. We could also try to use if you have access to WP Scan, you can try to use WP Scan with username and password and see if you would be able to guess it. So eventually here um, we had an active username, Elliot, and again the password doesn't really matter in this case. So for those of you who are asking about WScan, yes, you can use something like this. Obviously, you will need to change the IP address. And you just put the web page that you are looking for, web login. You can specify then dash u dash username, and then you can specify user names, and you can specify the list that we have, for example. You can specify the password as well. Sorry. And again, you can specify FS, which is the word list, and you hit enter, and eventually that's will try to brute force it for you. This is another way you do it. Probably I will create or I will check one of the CTF machines that has or rely on WordPress, and I will show you how to use WP Scan in another video. So now we found Elliot as a username. What we're going to do here, let me copy it, and let's go here, replace it. We know this is a valid username. Let's submit it and see what the error message would be when you have the right password, sorry, the right username but the wrong password. The password you enter for the username Elliot is incorrect. So that's good. So I will use this as a distinctive um, string, and I will go ahead here and change. What was it? It was, we said it was, is incorrect. Okay, nothing changed here. The same IP address, obviously. Here we need to specify the dictionary, which is FS in this case. The password is different, and the user, we said it is Elliot, lowercase, obviously, because we specify the password. And we hit enter. So in this case now, we're saying that we know the username. Can you go ahead and check which password will enable Elliot to access? Eventually, we will end up having, hopefully, a logins, and that will help us to move to the next step. Okay, I will pause the video while the cracking is taking place. Okay, it seems that we have initially managed to get a credentials for Elliot. Now let me just copy them and keep record of what we got. That is useful. So we could try to log in with this. You can see that SSH is disabled, so the only option we have is to log in with this username and password on the WordPress. The way that we're going to do this is, let's go here. Let me stop Burp Suite because we don't need it anymore. Let me stop the proxy as well. Let's go here. So the password was this, and it was Elliot. Do not save. We managed to have access. Okay. So what we're looking for here is a a field or an option or plugins that will enable us to perform any form of injections. Obviously, you can go ahead and download these images and see if they have any Stigno information. But I have done this and I couldn't find anything useful. There are two ways to proceed here. The first one is through, if you go in, it was appearance, if you go to the editors, you will have what seems to be PHP editor that enable us to edit web pages, and I will try to exploit it into different ways. So you can find that you had 404 PHP page. You can take this one, and what we can do is try to get, let's see, copy reverse shell. Let's put it here. Let's edit that reverse shell to have our IP address. 192.168.0.18. I'm fine with the 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, okay, now let me open this and copy it. Come on. Okay. I'll go to the web page here and I will paste my PHP message and press update. Let me start a listener as well. Venkat 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I go and visit this web page 404.php, that in theory should run my script, and yes, I managed to get a shell. So this is one way to do this. The other way to do this, I'll try to exploit this, is using Metasploit. So SF console. I try my best not to use Metasploit most of the time, because I would like you to get into the habit of manual exploitation. You can search for things called web WP admin shell upload. Yes, that's the one. Okay. You can set, for example, the R host to be 192.168.0.8. You can set the set, for example, what else do we need to set? The L host, since that it's been set. Okay, I'm happy with the L port. Anything else we need to set here? Okay, probably need to set the username and the password. Set user, sorry, user name to Elliot. Okay, set the target URI might be useful as well. Target URI, target URI. I think it was WP. Was it WP login or admin? I think it was WP web admin. Web login. Okay, let's set it, or let's leave it for now as it is and see if it will be able to detect it. If not, then I will set it up myself. Um, Another thing is, let's set that's in the advanced WP check to false, so it's not giving us any error messages. And let's see if we try to exploit it, what will happen. Did we set the password here? Okay, set the password. I have not set up the password. That is needed. Um, the password for Iliad, as we discovered, was this one. Now it might come and complain to me that it needs the URI, but aborted due to failure, no access, failed to succeed. So probably it needs the set URI. Yes, it was Elliot set. Let's have a look. Show options. Set URI. Target URI. Hopefully that has finished. Why did I stop it? Okay, web login page. And let's see if it works. That is strange why it failed to authenticate. So we specified the password, we specified the username, we specified the port number. Oh, 08, that's the right machine. 192.168, that's everything is set correctly here. Okay, I will look at this up. Let's get back since we have a shell. So we already have a shell. Um, so what we can do now is try to escalate our privileges. Let me upgrade the shell. Go to my cheat sheet. Python would be an ideal option. That's good. Let's see what users we have. We have another one called robot. So let's go ahead and move to robot. What is in there? Okay, we have a file here. That sounds interesting one. Let's try, go ahead and try to open it. Okay, we have what seems to be a username and password for user robot. It shows that it's MD5, so what I would do, I would go ahead and try to crack this with MD5 cracking station. So go to the web. Okay, it seems that the password is the alphabet. Good. What else do we need to do now? So we figured this out. Let's see what kind of sudo dash L if possible. We don't have that password for it, for the daemon. Fair enough. So let's try to find if there is any executive with SUID enabled on them. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Nmap has SUID enabled on it. Okay, so we can look at ways for Nmap in interactive mode. Nmap. Okay. Here we have this option. So we need to run nmap dash dash interactive, then that will get us a shell. So in order to do this, let's first move to where nmap is running. It is in user, local, bin. I have nmap. Now I can run nmap dash dash interactive. And that gave me a shell. You can see that I can type sh, and now if I type ID, I am a root, as you can see. Good. So that's how we can exploit and hack Mr. Robot and get shell. As I said, I always prefer to stick with the manual exploitation. You can see sometimes Metasploit give you an error message for not really clear reason. I will try to find solution for that one and probably put it in the comment for you. Okay, guys. See you later. Bye for now.